I feel like we might be losing some steam, too.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, that caffeine did not last as long as I was hoping. Oh, well.
Yeah, we're fine.
At least we're going good. The last time we were here, I think we were talking about Foxbox.
Yes.
And how much I hated Foxbox. Though there are some people who have, well, at least one person who left a comment, too, who said that they were actually looking forward to Foxbox as a kid. And then when it actually came out, they don't even remember what it was on it or watching it at all.
Yeah. I never watched it.
One of the shows that actually did come on Foxbox that I really liked, that I think would work for Popgaz, but I don't think we will ever be able to find, was Shaman King.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's kind of a Popgaz. It's one of those ones where I would debate that one because it's very much like a Japanese toy commercial, which is part of what Popgaz is. And it's like a collectathon style thing, but you're collecting ghosts. And it's not really even collecting ghosts because everybody gets one.
Yeah, no,
so
I don't know.
It's more like it doesn't quite work.
I mean, there's some things where
confusing.
everyone gets one. Digimon's like that.
Yeah, Digimon.
But Digimon, there's no way to say Digimon's not a Popgaz thing. Because Popgaz started with Pokemon. Pokemon and Digimon are going to be inseparable to most people.
Yeah, no, a lot of people are going to think of them as... Oh, no, Dedede!
Is that the first time we've died as him?
Yeah, that's the first time we've died to Dedede.
We've seen that.
Oh no, I need to go get my power.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fine. I'll get this first so that we don't have to do it again.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, we're not playing at the top of our game.
That's fine. It's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything is fine. Nothing's wrong. There's never anything wrong. Nothing has ever been wrong in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
Shaman King, like I was saying, though, totally appeared on Foxbox. I'm trying to rack my brain to remember some of the other ones.
I know that. I should sit up. I know that Shaman King was in the signatures of a lot of people on Gaia Online.
Well, Shaman King is a really interesting series because, like I said, it's kind of like, okay, well, you get a ghost and it's superpowers and whatever. And it's it's actually not bad. As far as kids stuff goes, you know how a lot of kids stuff is kind of I don't want to use the word, but it's kind of power fantasies a lot.
Oh, there it is.
It's kids and it's oh, well, I want to be super powered and I want to do all kinds of garbage things, really fucking strong and save the world.
You know what? There's a penguin, I think, in the next area, so potentially you can get Ice.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Okay.
Because I vaguely remember him being over there.
So Shaman King was a power fantasy anime.
A little bit. It's one of those things, though, where it's okay, so the kid gets a ghost and is kind of bonded to the ghost. And as time goes on, he can, he upgrades it. That is kind of the plot of the series to some extent, is that eventually that kid's ghost totally gets super, super cool, basically. But it's I don't know, fucking, it's kind of... It's
maybe kind of like how Zatch Bell is a maybe.
Yeah, where Zatch Bell is a good example because it's basically the same thing. There's
but it doesn't feel
a ton of differences, yeah, but it's very similar.
The idea of Popgaz is it's collectible video game monsters in their own anime toy commercials. But then, Beyblade isn't about monsters, but it still feels like it should count, and I've done a lot of Beyblade stuff. It's one of those things where it's not really all that hard and loose, but sometimes it's hard to really explain the choices that I've made. And people will also recommend stuff that, doesn't really work, but I can see why they'd think it was. Things that are bad dubs, but aren't really in the genre. People have suggested, Winx Club, because it has a bad dub, and it technically is a toy commercial. They have a lot of dolls. But it's Italian, it's not anime, it's trying to be kind of anime-like, but I can see why they'd suggest that.
I don't know if being Japanese should really be something that denotes whether or not
if it's going to be a non-Japanese property, it had better fit way, way more of the other Popgaz theme. So if it was a collectible monster theme, I'd accept it still. But that's because that's the number one thing for Popgaz is that. If you don't got that, it's harder to justify. So, like, I could potentially see myself doing, I don't know, like, spectrobes or whatever the fuck, but...
Is this the one that requires
It
ice?
might be. Because that one's super confusing. No one's ever sure what that's supposed to indicate.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, oh, if he's super cool with that, it'll break.
I hope it doesn't lock out.
It might.
It doesn't look like it is.
Does this area have that lava wave?
I thought this was where the penguin was.
Yeah, was it earlier and we forgot
Maybe it was just earlier on and we didn't notice. Yeah, this is the lava wave. Oh,
God, you might as well just leave.
Well... Yeah, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out, like, where the area that we want to go is, and it's like, no, we passed it, like, really bad. And the lava wave is where the last one is, too, and I think I totally missed that one as well. So I messed up extra bad.
Oh, well. But we were talking about what makes a Popka series.
Yeah.
Sometimes people suggest shit that I don't even know why they'd suggest it. This one time I had someone ask me if I would do My Little Pony, and I didn't answer that ask. Like, I don't want to be mean about it, but it's like, there's nothing about that matches. Why would you have suggested that? Like, I don't know. It could be some random person who just happened to find the blog and hasn't been, like, a follower and doesn't know, like, I've got, like, a theme and a rule for that stuff. And, oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I messed that up.
Like, maybe they just thought I made fun of shows. Or maybe they thought, oh, well, it's pitching toys at kids, that maybe that's good enough. It's like, there's nothing about My Little Pony.
Yeah, it's not really a Popkas in any way.
Yeah, it's way too far out.
Yeah.
Also, I guess I'll go on record saying that when it first came out, when people first started talking about Friendship is Magic, I gave the first few episodes a shot. They are, like, solidly average. Like I can see why a little kid would like them. But there's nothing about them that really draws my attention. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
like the art style.
Oh my god, these rocks are just
They're
totally
not
destroying my butt.
This big an issue.
Yeah. This is a really big pain.
Yeah, I don't know. This area is fairly hard.
What? No! Okay, that was the universe conspiring against me! What was that?
I don't know.
That was awful!
I'm gonna try a different level, see if it's less annoying to find an ice.
God, that was... What was that?
I don't know.
As every time I got to a lava cliff, I jumped, and then they'd immediately just dunk my head in the lava.
Yeah,
like, they just dropped the biggest rock possible on me.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't like the style for Friendship is Magic because I like the G3 ponies. And I was a little mad about them not being around anymore.
You're not going to find any ice up here, I don't think.
Maybe not.
Yeah, this does not look like you're going to get ice at all. You might get electric, but you're not going to get ice, I don't think.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
Sorry.
No, I was hoping just we wouldn't have to deal with those birds again.
Yeah, if we go farther, we might not have to deal with the birds. I don't know.
Whatever. I really like G3 ponies. I got butt mad when they switched to G3.5. And then, like, they switched to 4, and I was like, these don't even look like horses. They look like weird, long-legged cats.
Yeah, they're pretty catty.
Which I don't mind. It's just that's not a horse, and I don't know. It didn't really click with me. And then the episodes were like, this is average. I could see a kid enjoying this, but that's fine. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone suggested that. I can't remember some of the other ones. A lot of suggestions have been good, though. Like, we were told about there being all the Yu-Gi-Ohs on Hulu because someone had dropped me an ask about it. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, like, hardcore something that Popkas should have in it.
Yeah, I suppose I could see that.
Because it's not necessarily collectible monsters directly, but indirectly it totally is.
It may as well be.
Yeah, you're collecting cards that have monsters on them. That's close enough. Even then, like, they do kind of have, like, monster companions to a certain extent where they've got their favorites and sometimes weird out and, like, fucking start talking to them.
Yeah, okay, that I fucking love for no reason. We haven't gotten to it, but eventually we'll get to GX. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is like, oh god, it takes that to a significantly larger degree. Like, I don't want to spoil things, but there may or may not be monsters that respond.
Weird. Like,
but then there's some weird differentiation where it's like some of these monsters are special, and then some of them aren't.
oh, that goes forward.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. I thought it would be like
never.
rock.
Yeah, it doesn't do the rock thing. But some of these monsters will talk back, but not all of them. And then you get scenes where like the main character is sitting in a room talking to all of his monsters that he has put down so that they'll project holograms, and they're just staring at him with
They're
like
just
dead
tulpas.
doll eyes. Like, it's very clear that it has not, like, he's not actually talking to anyone. He's just talking to himself, basically. But, like, it's treated as though they can understand, and it's, like, very clear that they can't because they're not those kinds of cards.
Oh. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it's super weird. Also, that character, like... The main character of GX is just, like, a very strange character. I don't particularly dislike him. I feel like he's maybe a little bit better than Yugi in some regards, because Yugi is a very strange character when you actually stop and look at him, like, entirely. Juden, at least, is, like, more of a believable kid.
That's a shitty name. That's a dub name, isn't it?
No, I think that's his real name. His name is Juden Yuki.
Well, the name Juden is usually like one of those names that you make fun of people for naming their kids. Just saying.
Are you sure you're not thinking like Bladen?
Oh, all of the Aidens. Like, people make fun of people
Even
for using...
Aiden?
Yeah. Like, all of the ones that are like that. Bladen and Hayden, and like some of them are real names. Like, they're not like things that people made up. Bladen is one that people just sort of came up with, but... Just any of the Aidens are just, like, white...
You can probably use your power here, by the way.
Yeah. They're just white people naming their kids shit that seem like they'll get their kid made fun of. It's on the list.
Maybe a little bit.
Well, I mean, with that, you're only going to have them getting made fun of having, like, 20 classmates who have rhyming names.
God, we found an entire book of children's names.
Oh my god, that
It was
book.
labeled like trendy children's names when we were looking through the little bookstore that we like to go to and like just pick up stuff from if we can. And it listed some very strange names in that book. Like the name California. And all I could think is, that's not a child, that's a place.
Yeah, that one's, like, a bunch of them were things that would get your kid made fun of. I think
almost
one
all
of them
of
was
them.
Brick. Don't name your kid Brick.
Brick was it. I love that. Who names their child Brick?
There were a bunch of names that was like, you only name your kid this if you want them to get made fun of. Or,
Yeah, but it didn't list
like,
it that way. It was like, you name your kid this if you want him to be cool and popular.
Yeah, it explicitly was trying to make cool baby names. And it's like, God, no. These are things you name a baby you don't want.
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, jeez.
I think I've got my groove back.
A Brick. Yeah, I keep wanting to say Dorito was in that, but I don't think it actually was.
Might as well have been.
It could be like Frank Zappa. Frank Zappa named his kids weird things.
I've never heard a Frank Zappa song in my life. I just like to, whenever that name is mentioned, I like to just give a disclaimer, like, I only know what you're talking about in, like, oh, it's on lava.
No, it's not hot lava, though.
Is that the last
Go
one?
left. No. So immediately in here, just float up left.
Okay.
Is what it says, anyway. Maybe it's wrong.
Left?
Float up to the left in the room with rising lava.
Rising or the wave?
It says rising lava.
So I don't think that's here.
No, I guess that would be the next one, huh? Oh, then
Yeah,
I messed
there's
up
no
early. Okay.
Yeah, there's no up
Fair
to really
enough.
go. It won't let you. That's fine. But yeah, that's one of those names that I know from people using it in discussions on the internet, but I've never seeked out its source. So, like, if you make a reference to Frank Zappa's songs, I'm not going to get him.
He's a cool guy. He looks really unique and cool, and I like him. His songs are very experimental, though. I'm not gonna like fucking like bore you to tears, but
Sure you will.
his children. He named his children Dweezil. That's his son, and his daughter is Moon Unit.
Yeah, you don't name your kids that if you want them and enjoy them and want them to be happy.
Like, it could be worse. I don't remember who it was, but there is a musician, and for the life of me, I can't remember, and I'm really disappointed in myself, who had like 5 children and named them all the same thing. I think it was literally like Tom, 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 and Tom, and they just
this
differentiated each other with numbers to the left.
Okay, so it's this is it.
And they just use numbers to refer to each other.
Directly?
You can't go... yeah.
Okay, so I guess it's not directly.
Yeah, no, I think it just says float to the left.
Yeah, well, you had described it as though it was immediately. Oh, there we go.
By the way, for whoever that was who named all their children the same thing, can't remember who it was. I think they also had 2 girls. So if it was Tom, it's very disappointing.
Well, these are names you give to kids when you dislike their mothers.
Yeah, you'd think so, anyway. So we're on the first one now?
Yep.
Fire.
All right, I might have to...
There is a fire in here.
Okay.
It's almost immediately there's a fire.
I don't remember because I keep focusing on those fucking birds.
I do vaguely remember. I just don't know how far in it is. There he is.
I like how when you undo your snowball, it shows everything you've absorbed. Is it fire?
It just says fire.
All right.
So I think it just needs to be like maybe 1 fire. No, what are you doing?
He said just fire. So that means anything?
It just says fire, so it might just be straight fire all on its own. That's more what I meant.
Generally, if it's just one thing, it can be anything in that one thing.
Okay, I mean, well, I guess we'll see.
Pretty sure. Also, this one's easier to maneuver with.
I know it is. But, like, we have to hope that it's right now.
We'll find out.
There's enough food in this area to keep you healthy at the very least, I guess.
This area is not the hard part of Shiver Star.
No, not really.
Yeah, we're good. What else was in that book? A lot of stuff that didn't sound like names.
Oh, God. There were a ton, and I can't remember any of them, but none of them sounded like names.
Like a bunch of states and...
Yeah, I don't know who thinks that it's a good idea to name their children after states.
Yeah. I want to say there were a lot of, like, alcohols in there.
Oh, yeah, there were a ton. Like, name your child Brandy or Guinness.
Brandy can be an actual name. I've heard that one before. I think it's just supposed to be, like, the girl equivalent to Brandon sometimes. So it's like, sure, go with that. But if you name your kid, like, Cristal or Merlot, it's like... that sounds sleazy. Yeah,
it does a little bit. That's kind of like you're asking for your child to be like a very unfortunate person.
Thing? No.
Yes, but we already got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking for the boss in this area, which I think is right after this.
Okay.
And then there's a one after him too, and it's in a frozen lake apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where it was.
That's where it was. Yep. So, we've had baby name discussions before, but we'll probably never have a kid. I can't pretend like the names I pick are really good, because I want to name our kids Fern Gully and Page Master. And I'm only half ironic about it.
So go ahead and just fucking firework your ass off.
I don't intend to have kids, so it doesn't fucking matter what joke names I come up with. But also, Fern Gully could be a name.
Yeah, no, Fern Gully's a name.
And if I wind up taking your last name... Fern Gully kind of has...
Don't tell people what my last name is. I'm sorry.
I'm not. Okay. If I take your last name, Fern Gully has a similar sound to it than from my current last name.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, do you think I'm going to dox you?
I don't
Why
know.
the fuck would I?
I don't know.
So is it below the ice?
Rightmost frozen lake. I'm going to guess that it is below the ice, but it says rightmost, so I just give it a little bit.
Yeah. Like, dude, do you just not trust me
on the internet? You. Jeez.
At worst, I would have given my last name as my own choice to do so.
Yeah. So that's gonna... Yeah, I guess we gotta take this one
Also, your name's not super... Like, is this the one?
I don't know. There's a tunnel, so we could probably use that either way.
Like, we've Googled your name before. It's common enough.
Yeah, so this is where I think we saw those guys the last time.
Okay, yeah.
The first time,
it's just right down there. Okay.
Yeah, I think this is the one that doesn't have a crack up at the top or something like that. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Okay, so we got everything.
So that's why we kind of missed that the first time.
Yeah. You were so scared I was going to drop your name.
Below a cloud in the second, needle and electric.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't remember if you can get that here?
I don't think you can either.
Yeah. I think 1-2 is my go-to for things.
Well, 1-2 has plenty of stuff, but the electric isn't until like the very end of 1-2.
No, it's the end of the first room.
No, that's what I mean. It's like the end of the very first room, but it's still like, it's the end of something.
So we're looking for needle.
Yep. Needle and electric. I forget what that is.
It's the, lightning rod.
Is that lightning rod?
Yep.
Okay. I had to think about that for a second, because I thought that was just straight lightning, but now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, you're right, that's lightning rod, yeah. I keep wondering, if you kick those, do they do damage still when they hit things?
I don't know. We can find out. Fuck you, Gordo.
I don't remember where the lightning rod is necessary.
I do. It's in the boss room.